As internal turmoil in Turkey continues and with fears of the escalation of the Ukraine crisis, let's see what the press is saying. Semih Idiz writes in our Monitor, relations between Ankara and Moscow have been strained by the crisis in the Ukraine. Idiz writes Ankara finds itself caught in a delicate situation between its commitments towards NATO allies and responsibilities in the Black Sea towards Russia as a result of the Montreux Convention, which regulates traffic in the Turkish straits. Idiz writes that Turkey is treading cautiously due to vast economic cooperation with Russia and equally vast dependence on Russian gas to meet its energy requirements, but also to the simple fact that Russia is a superpower on its border. Despite Turkey's membership of NATO, Foreign Minister Ahmet Davutoglu stated to the pro-government TV net in a March 18th interview that being a member of NATO does not necessarily require a confrontation with Russia. The Montreux Convention of 1936 regulates the passage of warships of landlocked states into the Black Sea through the Turkish-controlled Bosphorus and the Dardanelles. Turkey was accused of violating the convention by allowing US warships to stay in the area too long. The article says Moscow considered this activity part of a NATO build-up in the Black Sea aimed at intimidating Russia over Ukraine. Turkish paper Today's Zaman says Turkey is deeply concerned over events in Ukraine. The article said Ankara said it has always recommended all parties in Ukraine to put forward their views and demands through peaceful means and act with common sense to preserve peace and stability in Ukraine. The article adds the statement said Ankara hopes that Ukrainian authorities continue to maintain their restrained position in controlling events and establishing the public order. Turkey said it reiterates its support for the neighbouring country to hold presidential elections on May 25th in peaceful atmosphere and in free and fair conditions. We're now joined on the phone by blogger and journalist Nirvana Mahmood. Thank you for joining us again on the show, Nirvana.
You're welcome, thank you.
You've been tweeting and writing quite a lot about Turkey. I wanted to ask you firstly, how concerned is Turkey about escalation of the Ukraine crisis?
Escalation in the Ukrainian crisis?
Yes.
I think Turkey is very concerned about the escalation. And I think they are concerned because they know that they have limited leverage in affecting the crisis. It reminds them with all sorts of problems with neighboring Russia, and it reminds them with the limitation of what Erdogan likes to promote as the power of new Turkey. So they are concerned, but they are trying to restrict and limit the show of anger and disagreement with Russia.
Do you think if Turkey had to make a choice between sticking with its NATO allies in the West or with Turkey, if there was a Cold War situation, which side do you think Turkey would go for?
I think they will try to play a semi-neutral card with loud rhetoric in favor of NATO, but no materialistic action on the ground to upset the Russians.
There's been mention of the Montreux Convention of 1936, which...
That's correct.
And there's been mention that US warships have broken the convention by staying in the Black Sea for too long. Yeah. Is this going to affect Russian-Western relations at all and involve Turkey in any way?
Well, from following the statement from Russia and Turkey, you can tell that Turkey is trying to contain the crisis and to try to tell Russia that we actually didn't break the Treaty of Montreux. Having said that, they probably know that they did break it, and they probably know that they cannot afford to do that on a regular basis. So I think they are watching what's happening in the Ukraine now carefully, especially in eastern Ukraine, because they know that they cannot do anything to upset the Russians. You have to remember they are importing a lot of gas from Russia as well. Yep. So it's not just the old treaty, and it's not just a Cold War. There is a lot of economic ties with Russia, and I doubt that Turkey would like to harm this relation.
And there's a lot of turmoil going on in Turkey with Erdogan banning Twitter and other social media. Do you think the Ukraine situation or the Russian potential threat of Russia could have any effect on internal Turkish politics?
I doubt it will, because what upset Erdogan from social media is the leakage against him personally about his corruption or alleged corruption of him and his family and his links and his AKP party. This is all allegation, it's not confirmed, but that's what upset Erdogan from social media. Whether the Ukraine crisis will be that harmful to him through Twitter and Facebook, it's doubtful.
Does the Gulenist movement have a different attitude towards Ukraine and Russia from Erdogan and his AKP party?
It's unclear at the moment how the Gulenists are reassessing their policy toward Erdogan and toward the Turkey foreign policy. I think they are careful not to look as if they are harming the Turkish interest. So there is a limit. They have to look as if they are backing the government, and they will not speak openly unless Erdogan do something silly, which I doubt it do.
Well, thank you very much, Nirvana, for joining us today.
You're more than welcome. Thank you.
That was Nirvana Mahmood, journalist and blogger. And for more updates, please visit levant.tv. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.